Hi everyone, Tom Hammel here. I'm going to play this little gem. It's a 1936 six-string Gibson EH-150 lap steel guitar. It's one of the first electric lap steels to come out, and it was at a time when Gibson was trying to capitalize on the Hawaiian music craze at the time. Thanks to Dale and Patty and Abbotsford for letting me acquire this guitar. Thanks. So I'll test this out on a little Hawaiian song called Sand, written around 1930 by Hawaiian steel guitar player Andy Iona, and I'm going to play this along with a little backing track. And then for those of you that are interested in finding out more about the B11 tuning that I'm using on this, stick around and I'll talk a little bit about that tuning. All right, so the tuning on this B11 instrument, it's not far off from a C6 tuning actually. So going from the low string to the high string, you've got B, D sharp, F sharp, A, C sharp, and E. So that's actually pretty close to a C6 tuning. If you have a C6 tuned guitar that goes from bottom C, E, G, A, C, E, you can get this B11 tuning just by tuning your second string up one semitone to C sharp, and then tuning your fourth, fifth, and sixth strings down one semitone. That gets you to a B11. The tuning is called B11 basically because it's a B9 chord with the fourth note of the scale one octave higher, which is the 11th note in the scale on the top. That's the E, which on its own is not a very useful chord because it sounds a bit messy. But the way I like to think of this tuning is that there's two chords in the open tune position. So in the bottom 5 strings, you have B9, and in the top 4 strings, you have A6. It's a combination of really 2 tunings. So on the bottom 5 strings, you get that nice fat B9 chord with those 5 strings, and then on the top 4 strings, you get the A6. So I like to think of it as my home position being in the 6th tuning. So because that makes it similar to when you're playing on a 6-string guitar, when you're playing the A open chord up and down the neck, you're getting the open position is A. So on this string, on this guitar, the open is get your A6 open. So for example, 3rd fret would be C6, the 5th fret D6, and then E9 on the 7th fret, and so on. Now, when you play the B11 tuning, I like to think of the tuning. If I'm playing in let's say in D, as Sand is played in, for example, I'm playing the D6 chord. Then you go down 2 frets to get that nice 7th or 9th chord sound before you change to the 4 chord. But it's much nicer on this, or fatter on this tuning than it would be on a C6, which you can do as well, but you don't get as many notes in that chord. The minor chord, also very similar to a C6 tuning. You're just going up 3 frets from the 6th chord. So if I'm playing C6, for example, a C6 chord, move that up 3 frets. I get a C minor 7th chord. But the nice thing about this is that I also have the option with the 5th string to get a C minor 6 chord, which gives you a bit of a jazzier chord. So instead of which is a minor, you get or a minor 7th, you get the minor 6th. Again, that's used in Sand. So where I'm going, there's a minor 6 chord there with that 5th string in there. Gives that nice dark minor chord sound. What else? Oh yeah, another nice thing is you can play the diminished chords without slanting by playing on your 3rd, 4th, and 5th strings. So basically you've got your inversions 3 frets apart, as you normally would, say, in any kind of a diminished situation. But having those 3 chords, or those 3 strings tuned just in the right intervals for diminished tuning is handy. So that's it. Give B11 tuning a try, and let me know if you have any questions. Happy to try to answer any questions anyone has about this, and thanks for listening.